What's up, Victoria? It's Victoria, and it's time for a reckoning. If you are new to my channel, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button. It's right down there, and if you go a little bit further down, the pinned comment will have links to support people who need your help right now. I'm on Patreon, and I have channel memberships. Those are linked down below. I do an additional video over there every month. That's a great way to support me, not necessarily a better way to support me, and I think that's all the business I have to get through, because I think this is going to be a long video. I'm going to try to expedite the process, and if you're not familiar with my reckoning, this is also going to be like a reckoning light. I'm not deciding what is going to be put into my permanent collection if you are new here. Basically, the reckoning is I go through all the stuff that I have gotten in PR, that I have bought to do reviews on. Not everything, but things that I feel like I'm ready to make decisions on, that I've tested enough. This is not as thorough as a normal reckoning because I just have a lot of stuff that is in the testing drawer right now. So some things will be decluttered by vibes, but the whole reason that I am doing this right now is because I am having some friends over for my birthday. They are all makeup inclined people, and I wanted to get some stuff into my declutter bin for them to go through that they could choose. And this is just a great time to get some good products in the hands of people that would really like and cherish them. So I'm hoping to just kind of move some things along and be realistic about what I'm going to be capable of discussing on my channel and what I want to feature on my channel and what I think I might use, what I think you guys might like for me to use more of. So sound off in the comments if you think I made a mistake, but some of the stuff that I know really well. So technically the things that I am keeping in this video are just staying in the testing drawer. I still want to use them more before I invite them into my permanent collection. So this is kind of just like a round one, loose cuts. We're going to move pretty quickly, okay? This whole box is eyeshadow palettes. I'll swatch some stuff if I see fit. I'm not gonna start with eyeshadows. There's also a fragrance in here that I do want to talk about because I'm ready to declutter it. And I also have some fragrance heads coming over to me. This was sent to me by Sniff. This is their Creme Couture fragrance. I don't like it. So there's a blueberry note in here, like a blueberry jam, blueberry compote note in here. And when I first smell it, it smells like a croissant. It smells like bready, crummy deliciousness, buttery. It smells so good. And I think that would be a gourmand I would like. I don't typically love gourmands. I do like vanillas, but I don't like them to be incredibly sweet. This is a sweet fragrance for me. When I put it on my body, all I get is that blueberry note. And this is a positive for if you like this fragrance, and I hope this is the case for other Sniff products. This lasts on me all day. It's like all I can smell. All I can smell is that blueberry smell. I just don't think that this registers with my body chemistry the way I want it to. If it smelled bready and buttery and yummy and maybe a little bit sweet, I would like it, but all I'm getting is like that blueberry note that they say is in there. That's all I get. That's all I can smell once it's on my skin. I would love to try other things from Sniff that are more interesting to my nose that I would want to try. We're not going in any particular order. I'm just picking up what's off the top. First up, the Queen Pin palette. I tried this recently in a video. In that video, I talked about how I think it's my favorite of the Trixie palettes I've tried, even though I really hate this sequin shade in there. It reads very orange. I feel like it looks brown in person, but now that I'm holding up in camera, it looks more orange on camera. So that was really frustrating, but I do think this is an interesting color palette. It's very autumnal, and I do want to try it again because it was like the most impressive Trixie palette I've tried so far, and I have been pretty harsh on Trixie's eyeshadow formula, so I do want to keep playing with this one and maybe make some looks that I feel more confident about. It is a challenging color story for me. I tend to be a neutral Nancy whenever it comes to eyeshadow palettes, so there's like I'll have to do a little bit of work, but I think I can find some stuff in here that is really good. I also just think it's a really interesting palette release. It's just kind of in general, so I'm gonna keep it. Paisley Hoot from Singe Beauty. I have done a couple of looks with this, only one in a short so far, so I do want to use this in a longer form Let's Play with Makeup style of video. I really love this. It is being called neutral a lot, and I think I maybe even used that word for it before. It's more warm, and I do think actually there's kind of like a division. There's like a kind of warm tones on this part, cool tones on this part. I think the greens are really pretty, and greens aren't really like considered neutrals technically. I like the quality of the warm tones in here. They are the warm tones that I would wear if I am going to wear warm tones. It's interesting because they're more like yellowy oranges. I don't know how to describe it, but all I know is that when I was putting on my eyes, it didn't feel incredibly like primary orangey, and I really liked that. This is definitely the most intriguing Singe palette to me, for my eyes and my taste. So I'm excited to keep playing with it, and I have been very impressed with their formula so far. So I'm excited to keep playing with it. So this is the Garden of Stars Ella's Atlantis palette with Blend Bunny. I tried this in a video when I was doing that series where I was just like, I'm gonna just play with eyeshadow palettes that are new to me. I liked this. I didn't love the shade I used in that video. However, of the eyeshadow palettes that are featured today, this is one of the palettes that is more likely to make it into my makeup collection. I find this really useful. I like that there are a bunch of shimmers in it. I think the shimmer quality is pretty good. It's not my favorite shimmer formula, I don't think. I just think it's a very good, very well thought out like shimmer palette. Instead of just trying to be like a color story, it's like, here's all the colors. You get a neutral palette or you get a colorful palette and do what you want with it. I just think I like that. I like the idea of that. Continuing on with the Blend Bunny theme, this is the Volume 2 Imperial Matte Palette. I've only used this a couple of times. Their matte formula is really good, and I now know why everyone was trying to tell me why I should try it. Very impressed with this. This is another one just like the other Blend Bunny palette. This is something that I can find very useful. These are tones that I use a lot of, kind of like taupey kind of colors. The row of the pink mauve shades I will find useful, but I don't think that I'm going to use them as much as like the grays in here, which I like a lot more. We have like true grays in this row. In this row, they're more like grungy, greeny grays. And then we have like the pinks here. Very pretty. Gorgeous formula, incredible. I think that will be like maybe the first and last Blend Bunny palette I'm interested in. I think that's just like, that was the one. I found the one. I don't feel inclined to try more from Blend Bunny other than I really like their formula and I'm glad that I can speak to their formula now. The Texture palette. If it was just the taupey side, it would be something that I would consider playing with some more. I don't use the reds. I'm not going to be someone who does red eyeshadow looks just because people want me to do red eyeshadow looks. I will do them every now and then when I feel so inclined, but I do not need this eyeshadow palette. I don't mind the layout of it. I think it is kind of big for no reason and maybe like annoying to store. I think if you are like a collector and you really love Dexter, I could definitely see this being like something fun and worth having. The eyeshadow formula was really good too. The only thing I do recall is you definitely want to put a shimmer glitter glue down before using those shimmers because they're a fallout city and you would want to do your eyeshadow first if you are using this palette or if you were interested in it. The Bonfire palette from Glaminatrix Cosmetics. I feel as though I would like to get into this a little bit more. I did like this little quad down here. If I recall correctly, these two mattes didn't blend together as seamlessly as I wanted them to because I think Smoke was a little more purple and Ashes was a little bit more of a green gray as opposed to being a purple gray. So I remember just kind of like not liking the blend. The eyeshadow look I did, I like was recently reviewing that video because someone left a comment and they like timestamped something and I looked at it again. I was like, well, that is really pretty. I do feel less inclined to try like the reds and greens of it all. I really just wish that they had done 3 quads and then like I would just be able to keep that quad because unfortunately I'm just like at this phase in my makeup enjoyment. I know what kind of eyeshadow looks I'm gonna do on a regular basis and I think it's good and okay to have some eyeshadow palettes that challenge like my regular color story and have different textures than I typically really enjoy and that I would say I would like. However, the problem is whenever I open something like this is like, this is what I'm going to probably use every time I open it if I'm not just trying to work all of the other shades if I wanted to. Not only that, I have other eyeshadows that can do a look like this, and it's a look I like to do a lot. I'm gonna keep this one. Actually, this is like a maybe. I feel bad because I like only really used it the one time. I haven't gone back to it. But another problem I'm finding, and I might have to maybe start requesting to be removed from some PR lists. I really am grateful that indie brands like Glaminatrix and Bella Beauté Bar feel kind enough to send things my way to test out. That's really awesome and I really like it. However, my consumption and the rate at which I have been able to make content with my morale this year has been much lower than it's ever been. And I don't always like to feature new makeup if I'm doing a look or talking about a look because I want to prove to you and myself that we don't need new makeup to do beautiful looks. And I don't want to just use makeup to entice you to buy it. That's not what my goal is. And I do like being able to review things and know about things to be able to speak on them whenever I'm testing other things, to be like, oh, this is like this formula, or I have this thing that's like that. I like being able to speak on those things. But what I'm finding kind of recently is like by the time I end up trying this palette, editing and putting it up, there's normally a new palette from them. This is also what happens with Bella Beauté Bar. I don't know how to have that conversation or what kind of conversation I want to have, because I also think there's a world in which I could talk to both of those brands and be like, I don't think I'm the one who can like be the one reviewing all of your palettes. And it's like, I don't know if there's a way where you could, like, some brands will reach out and ask you if you are interested in trying a release. So I'm going to see if like I can work that out with any of these other brands. Just be like, if you could just like show me the color story before you send it out, or tell me what you are like maybe wanting to send me, whether or not I think it will be worth both of our time. I don't know. Does that sound weird? I'm not trying to be ungrateful. I'm very grateful. Getting PR is so cool, but getting PR is also work. And not that they send, PR is sent with no obligation to post. That's the only kind of PR I accept. But I also want the relationships I have with these brands. I want them to send me PR, and it's going to be maybe a little bit copacetic. Like, I'm gonna pass on this. This is the Urban Decay palette. It's just, it feels so cheap. It's fine. I liked the couple looks that I was like able to do with it, but there is no world where I'm going to, one, keep this eyeshadow palette, two, recommend you go out and buy it. It's like totally fine. I could see a regular consumer getting a lot of use out of this, but if you are so into makeup where you are knowing of indie brands and know about other formulations and you really care, then this is an automatic no for you. We just all know there are better palettes than this out there. Not only that, they call this cool toned and it's not. And it's just, I'm gonna let someone else have it. This one I definitely still need to spend some more time with. This is Andromeda's collection with Diva Rune. And this is the Somber Soils. These are some satin shades, and I actually really like these two shades, and I have used them a couple of times. I haven't used the green and the orange, which makes a lot of sense if you know my style, but I definitely want to like use this some more. I really like the quality of these satins. I do need to do some looks with them where I'm not covering them with a shimmer topper, because that is like typically what I do. It's like they almost have that kind of like greasy oil slick look to them. Not that they like have like a chromatic effect to them, but that kind of like chalky, greasy look on the eyes. And I really like that kind of like creasy, piecey, cool girl kind of vibe. I really like that. So I'm going to hold on to this one. I want to keep playing with it. The Glaminatrix Timeless Tones palette. This is what this one looks like. It is quite a big palette. I tend to like my palettes smaller. I prefer like 10 or 12 pan palettes if I'm going to indulge in an eyeshadow palette, mostly because like this is just a lot. I do like this formula. I think this is the best formula I've tried from Glaminatrix. Not only that, I think that these desaturated tones are my favorite kind of tones on my skin tone. I have very fair skin. I have cool leaning skin. I do think that the colors in here lean a little more cool than they do lean warm, and you have some toppers and beautiful shimmers in here. Basically smoky eyes galore in here. I don't play around a lot with the shape of my eyeshadow, so like if I'm gonna do a smoky eye and it's like just kind of lined up for me to do a perfect smoky eye, it's something that's really valuable to me. I'm gonna keep this one. This is another one that could make the jump into my permanent collection down the line. So far, I think this is also my favorite eyeshadow palette of the year that I've tried. Oof. Okay, so I only did a short with this. This is the Trixie Cosmetics Brittany Broski palette. So it has a blush in it, which is like an automatic negative in my eyes. I don't like that. I think it's very gimmicky. It also has a lot of limitations with the people who can use the blush. Then it makes it seem that this eyeshadow palette is only for people who can use the blush. Of course, people with different depths of skin tone could use this maybe for an eyeshadow or have another use for it. Here's the other thing. I love like what we call neutral, but like warm browns, cool browns. I like browns. I like a lot of browns. That's what we have here. There's some warmer ones. There's some cooler ones. I just don't love their formula, and I'm never, ever, ever gonna reach for this formula to do the kind of smoky eyes that it kind of entices me to do. Though, like that's what I would do with this palette. It's like I'm never gonna reach for this over any of my other neutral eyeshadow palettes, what we consider neutral. I'm never gonna reach for this over anything else I have. Not only that, this is like a glitter. I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it. And if someone else wants it, I really actually love the blush. And it's actually a damn shame that it wasn't considered to do some different depths of this and sell them in singles, because I could sell Trixie Cosmetics. If you are watching, if you are listening, I could have sold the hell out of this blush for you. And I know that a lot of my audience would probably have bought that blush, but they are not going to buy this eyeshadow palette because I wouldn't recommend the eyeshadow palette to them. So that was your mistake, not mine. I'm going to pass on it. The DD Signature Fearless Holiday Eyeshadow Palette. I really have not spent a ton of time with this. I've only done the one eyeshadow look with it. So the only feedback I have so far is I can't tell if it was, I was using a lot of new stuff with it and I was using a new eyeshadow primer. This creased on me really quickly, this shimmer shade. And I was talking to Linda Glitter Fallout. She also had some creasing issues with this. And so I don't know if I need to play with it to see if it's like the eyeshadow formula. I just need to play with it again. And I also want to get into some of the colorful eyeshadows just to see how they perform, how I like them. Even though they're not eyeshadows I would use a lot of, I would like to have an opinion on their more colorful shades. So we're gonna keep that one. Next up, we have the Newport Makeup with Bella Beauty Bar Coalescence palette. This one's gonna make it into my makeup collection. I want to keep it in the testing drawer because I would like to play with it some more. But this is also one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes that were released this year. I think Newport did such a great job with the color selection here. These tones are like right up my alley. They're like deeper desaturated tones, and I really like the way they work. If I like that desaturated thing, the shimmers in here are gorgeous. Oh my god. Where are they? She released singles too, and I like put them in a palette, and then I like scoot it along, and I don't think I featured them enough, but I've actually been wearing them more. She also did 4 singles. These sold out. I don't know if they've restocked them and they're sold out again. This shade right here, this is the one. This is the moment. If you like the same kind of eyeshadows I like, the shade Refraction, I am gonna swatch this one because you guys need to see it. Like, I know a lot of you like the same kind of shades that I like, and I know a lot of you are into more colorful things. Look at this sheer sparkly brown. I've worn this shade so much. It's like my favorite shade in this eyeshadow palette. It's so good. I know I haven't been swatching anything, but that one was important. That was important. I'll also swatch another shade from the shade Jal. And I don't really be liking blues like this, but look at that shade. That's incredible. Also, whenever I was in the Catskills with Newport, she kept wearing her palette. And I was like, I kept going, what's on your eyes? What's on your eyes? And she was like, Tom, it's my palette. You literally have this palette. And I was like, I know, but like, oh my God, she's so talented at putting on eyeshadow. She really is. She's incredible. She's amazing. I'm obsessed with her. I've told her this many times. I'm like, do you know how obsessed with you? I'm just obsessed with her. I am obsessed with her. This palette's amazing. Incredible. This is definitely one of my favorite Bella Beauty Bar palettes I've tried. Could be in the running for favorite. Incredible. Putting it back in the testing drawer because I just want to play with it some more. I'm also going to keep these singles too. I haven't tried any of the other singles on my eyes, but they are also very pretty. But Refraction is the moment to me. I had the lashes from the collection from Brittany's collection. I'm just never going to use lashes. I have a makeup artist friend who's coming over. She might be able to use them for something. The Tones of Turd palette from Glaminatrix. A real surprising hit from me. Not so much because it's like from Glaminatrix. It's really just like the colors in here. I just for a long time have been fearful of these colors. These colors when I wear them remind me of whenever I was trying to like do more masculine shapes and stuff with my face. And that's not something I really do anymore. I really like to lean into the feminine. My brain doesn't register these colors as feminine. And it doesn't matter. We're all allowed to have like taste, and it's very feminine people can wear these shades. It's just something that clicks in my brain. I have felt like a little bit of dysphoria when I've worn these colors in the past. Anyway, I love playing with this eyeshadow palette, and it's not just because it's like turd themed. I just think that it's called the Grounded palette if you were to buy it now, or if it's still available. There was like a non-poop version of the palette, and I would say that the shades are really grounded. They're very nature forward shades, and while they can be probably considered like grungy or something, they just don't feel grungy when they're on the eyes. They just feel very like organic looking on the eyes. I really like this eyeshadow palette, so I'm gonna keep this in the testing drawer. I've done a video with this one. I'm mostly keeping ones that I haven't featured just so I can like try them, and I think everything else has been at least featured on a short if I have like tried it once. But yeah, I really like this. Okay, this one might be a shocker. Well, I don't know, maybe it's not a shocker. This is the Glaminatrix Nearly Natural palette, and I was so excited to get this in PR. It was very kind of them to send it my way, and I don't love it. I don't love it. I like this one, Naked Eye. I like the stripped back shade, and I also really love this sparkly back in the shade Smolder. The problem I ran into is that it's like, it's called Nearly Natural, and I would say that's the case. I don't find that a lot of these eyeshadows work together. The undertones are a little bit weird. I find that they work better kind of like as duos, like those two together, those two together. You can obviously mix and match, but I have found that like these two shades in particular do not show up the way they do in pan on my eyes, which I find confusing. And the warmer shades in here just are warmer than I would want for them to be. And kind of just as I said with Tones of Turd, like these are not my preferred colors. And so I would have just preferred a much more neutral, natural palette than this. I think this is really cool. I know a lot of people love it, but unfortunately I'm such a neutral Nancy that like it doesn't work for me. The Timeless Tones palette was much better for my taste, but I think someone else will get a lot of use out of this. The Ocean Jewel palette, the thing about this palette is I keep using it not on camera, and I do really like it. I like this is very colorful for me. I love the neons and the punchy colors in here, and it gives me like very 80s vibe, and I cannot get it out of my head. And this is always an eyeshadow palette I want to like do a look with on camera, which I haven't done. I have been wearing this on camera before, but I haven't done like a look with it on camera before. So I would definitely want to do that, but I was really impressed with these neon shades. They're really bright, really punchy, and they keep that punchiness throughout the day, which with neons can sometimes be difficult. If I am gonna lean into color, I do find that purple is like the way I like kind of lean. I do like these kind of bright neon greens as like pops. I'm gonna keep playing with this one. I do really like this palette. It just hasn't really found its way onto the channel yet. And that's the problem with having so much stuff. How do I talk about newness, but not only talk about newness on my channel? So unfortunately, it came at a time where I had other things I would have been more interested in featuring when I was talking about newness. And it just kind of like made its way to the back of the drawer. But I really would like to feature this more. I think it's gorge. Another one that's for sure going to be in my makeup collection at the end of the year. Like I'm going to move it into my permanent collection. I need to start filming my makeup collection tour so that whenever I do my reckoning at the end of the year, I have space for what I think I want to put in. I have done like really long declutters. I'm going to call it a collection tour. I might title it a declutter, but I don't really do a lot of decluttering, but I actually might do more declutter. We'll see. I'm going to film it first. I'm going to go in with intentions of I'm just swatching things and telling you how I feel about them now. I do think my eyeshadow palette collection potentially could use an overhaul, so we'll see what decisions I end up making. Anyway, this is Andromeda's collab, the Magnetic Mineralia with Diva Rune. And these shades, much like Andromeda, I have fair skin. They have fair olive undertones. I have fair cool undertones, but these kinds of purples read very neutral on my skin, which I like. So I like these grays. Again, smoky eyes galore. This shade up here, I think every time I've worn this palette, I've snuck this on my eyes, and I really like this, so I'm going to keep this one as well. What time have I had? I would love to, like, I just could see myself really working this in and loving it even more. So Andromeda, thank you for encouraging Diva Rune to send this my way for PR. Okay, this one I haven't tried yet, so it's a definite keep because I do want to try their formula. This is from Gourmand Girls. This is their Trapped palette, and this has been out, I think, since the summertime. It's not a color story that I think if I didn't get it in PR, I wouldn't have picked. This was something that I got whenever I was at the Creator and Friends trip in the Catskills. But I have not tried anything from Gourmand Girls, so I do want to try their formula so I can just speak to it. I think that the shimmers in here look really pretty. I do like these tones over here. It has similar vibes to like Angelica's Hella palette, but it's like a little bit darker than that. The Hella palette had a shade like this that I really liked, so hopefully it's similar and performs as beautifully. And then speaking of Angie, this is the Agate Temptation palette. I haven't tried this one yet. I've only tried the Paisley Hoot one. This was also something I got when I was at Creator and Friends in the Catskills, so I still need to play with that one. Here's another one I haven't featured on the channel yet. I did play with some of the other stuff from the Conjuring collection with Lethal, but I haven't worn this one yet. And honestly, this would be the thing that, do you see the lenticular? That's cool. And it doesn't make my skin crawl to touch, which sometimes lenticular stuff can. I mean, that's like a wet dream for me in there, especially like if you cover up the color. If you take all the color away, I really love it. But there's some textures in there that I'm excited to play with. Like that looks really a lot like Smoky Quartz, which is what I have on my lids today, but maybe even sparklier. So yeah, I definitely want to play with this. I do generally like Lethal's eyeshadow formula. I just didn't use it in the video where I tried all of the other Conjuring stuff. So I still need to feature this on camera. So that will happen. Okay, this one I have played with privately, but I haven't worn it on camera yet. This is the Crown Legacy palette. I think this is sold out. See, this is the problem. I get something, I'm like, it's already sold out. They're not making it anymore. I don't know that that's the case for this. This was a collaboration with Monolith. I don't know what Monolith is. You know what? Andromeda did tell me, and it went in one ear and out the other. When Glaminatrix launched this, they did want me to point out, they sent an email and they were like, if you are going to feature it, make sure you tell people that they did stock this in an American warehouse so that it was easier to ship within North America. And I don't know what they're doing going forward, but you can now order from, I think almost everyone has figured out their shipping with the de minimis being gone back to the US. Like they all have plans for that. But I think that there might even be plans in the future for more of their palettes to be stocked in that warehouse in the US so that it will be easier for people in the US to get their stuff because they do a lot of business with the US. If I'm speaking about shipping to the US right now, just refer to the international brands I'm speaking of. Look at what they're saying because a lot of them have that stuff pinned or in highlights in their Instagram or their website. They will tell you on their websites. I didn't even finish speaking about this. I just was like, it's automatic. So I will say whenever I got this, I was a little bit, I wasn't really sure what to make of it, but then I used it. I think I've used it twice. And both times I really liked the look I got. I think the thing that's interesting, normally whenever Glaminatrix ships to me, they usually cover the shimmers with those little foam things. If you've ordered from indie brands, I think within the last couple of years, they've all started like their softer shades. They like put that little styrofoam thing on. These did not come covered with styrofoam. They didn't come broken or anything, which I'm wondering if they have come up with a more stable shimmer formula and that's why they don't need those. Anyway, I've done really pretty soft looks with it. It looks really colorful, but I've done like really soft, almost pastel-y looking looks with this. Anyway, I need to use it on camera. I want to use it on camera. I don't know if they're going to restock this. Again, this is the problem with the hype cycle, and I understand from a indie brand's point of view where it might not make sense for them to restock stuff over and over again, and there's probably a diminishing return every time you restock something. People who really wanted it probably bought it in the first wave. And I remember with the Nocturnal palette, they had some issues. People kept requesting it to be restocked, but then people weren't buying it. Anyway, but it does make it hard for me, someone who has a slower turnaround, to be able to like a lot of times, even sometimes whenever I get something in PR from Glaminatrix, the shipping from them takes so long that by the time before I even like get it in my hands, or the day I get it in my hands might be a day or two after launch, and it's already sold out. So it's like, okay, so then it gets pushed to the back of my mind. Anyway, I'm talking logistics. You don't care. I'm gonna keep this one. And then the Dark Dreamscapes palette. I don't think I posted a short, but I've worn this a couple of times. Definitely had one look I was wearing on camera, and then I also made a short with this, but I'm still not done with it. But now that I'm looking at it, it does look very similar to Ocean Jewels. Like, I think they would be good sister palettes. This is Ocean Jewels. This is Dark Dreamscape. These are kind of similar for them to have both come out this year, but I do fear, this is just my honest take, that if you are releasing an eyeshadow palette every month with 20 shades in it, how unique can you really get? And that's no shade to Bella Beauté Bar, because there are other brands I feel similarly about. I did one look with it. I liked it, but I'm not like charmed by this, especially because last year they released the Poison Garden palette, and that was like my favorite palette last year, and it was full of colors I don't typically use, and I really love playing with it every time. But yeah, I'm like less excited about this, but I want to feature it in a video. Okay, then I have the Girl Cult palettes. I have used this one. I got a really pretty eyeshadow look from it. I particularly love this topper shade. However, I feel like there is makeup in my collection that I really like and will use over this, and I did use it, and I wasn't like super impressed nor super unimpressed. I don't know that I personally would go out of my way to buy Girl Cult, but I understand the appeal. But I also have two more that I haven't used yet. I do want to keep this one. This one has some mattes in it, and I haven't tried their mattes on my eyes yet. The Girl Cult thing I'm like in no rush to really try. I'm sure that they still ship to the US, but I also know that like our trade situation with China is the most unstable. Not that any of it is stable right now. I'm not like in any rush to like really feature their Girl Cult stuff a ton. I also am intrigued by the formulas, but also just like there's a lot going on. And then let's see about this one. This one's all kind of like multi-chromes. I haven't particularly played with this one, but I think one of my friends would probably enjoy it a lot more than me, so I'm going to find a new home for that. This is from Diva Rune. This is another thing that from Andromeda's collection. This is the wet liner. My truth, I'm not going to use this. So I'm wondering if Sarah would take this. And if Sarah won't take it, I know it. I know a lot of people. I just know I'm not the one. So we're going to find it a new home. And I'm going to be honest about that. Love Andromeda. I think it's a good idea. It's just like, I'm not going to use it. You know what? This fucked me off so bad. I'm just going to put it right into my declutter bin without even putting it on my eyes. I don't really care. This is the multi-chromatic metal reflecting eyeshadow in the shade Purple Haze. I'm going to swatch it for you. Now, I have seen some other people try other shades of this, but I don't think that's metallic or anything enough to be called multi-chromatic. It's incredibly disappointing, and I have like zero interest of even trying it on my eyes. I don't like the color. Thought it was going to look a little bit different than that. I don't know, and I don't need 4 grams of eyeshadow just rotting in a single shadow. We're getting to some more interesting things. This is the Andromeda and Diva Rune Opal highlighter. There's some multicolor things happening in there. I don't know if I'm gonna wear it as a highlighter, but I do want to put this on my eyes because I think it will be pretty. We'll keep that for now. Oh, this I'm gonna move into my collection. This is Cultist from Rituel de Fille. I bought this with, if you were here, if you recall, months and months ago, closer to the beginning of the year, I did a video where I bought a bunch of Rituel de Fille samples to feature them because a lot of people always asking me to review or try things from Rituel de Fille, and it's like I actually have tried a lot from it, so that was kind of a video to put everything in one place. But when you buy samples, you get like a credit towards a purchase. So this is what I bought with my credit. This is the shade Cultist in their eyeshadow formula. The eyeshadow formula, not for everyone, I've been honest about that, but the shade Cultist has always been on my wish list, so I'm just gonna put it with my other single shadows. This is from Special, is it SE? I think this is a Chinese brand, and Danny sent it to me. I know a lot of people love this brand. This shade's not for me. We talked about reds. I think I can pass that on pretty confidently. Now I'm swatching the single shades. This one is from Rude Cosmetics in their Mesmerize. This is a very me shade. It's giving Solstice, but more purple. Oh, that's very wet looking, but it does have, well, that red might be from the last swatch I did. Very wet look. Okay, I do like that. Okay, I'm gonna hold on to that. I would like to try that. The thing about the singles is in my testing drawer, I don't like have a good setup for the singles. So I have four singles from Diva Rune. This one is the shade Bitten, and I haven't swatched some of these yet, so we'll do that together. It's very flaky. This was something I got in the Catskills from the gift exchange between creators, so it wasn't technically PR from the brand. I feel like I was such a devotee to blackened multi-chromes that's stunning. It's interesting because it looks, the flashback I don't think is as peachy as it looks in the pan, but we have like a shift from peach to like green. Oh, I love that. Gorge. Okay. This one was from Andromeda's collection. This is there's another Andromeda collab shade I'm going to swatch you. This is the shade Garnet. Now I did wear this once on my eyes, and this formula is really interesting to work with. It did not hold up super well on my eyes the one time I wore it, but I also just kind of slapped on my eyes. It's this red color, and it does have like silver flakes in it. And I think that's so pretty. Maybe on my finger you'll be able to see it better. It's so sparkly. Like, it's unbelievably sparkly. It's really pretty. And I don't really wear a lot of reds. However, I do want to keep that one in the testing drawer and maybe try to figure out how to get it to have better longevity on my eyes. But I don't really remember how I prepped my eyes the first time I wore that. So that's on me. It's a complete possibility that like I didn't prep my eyes properly for it, but I just remember it like not lasting very long on my eyes before it like creased up and kind of disappeared. This is Andromeda's second collab with them. I don't know if these have shade names. This one's called Gizmo. Oh, is the shade called Andromeda? It says, okay, I think the shade's Andromeda. Okay, the shade's Andromeda. And this is another multi-chrome kind of shade. It's really hard to see. Sorry, I know I'm like moving fast, but I don't want to be here all day. We're 45 minutes into filming, and I'm just getting through eyeshadow. This is actually a really like piecey, sparkly multi-chrome. It has no real strong base to it, but it does flip. And of course it's green because it's Andromeda, but there's a little bit of like a blue in there too. I don't know if you're getting all those. I'll pull out my phone and we'll do like a little bit of a sparkle cam with all of these shades. And then this one's really exciting because it's Miles did a collab shade. It's the shade Gizmo. I believe it's named after his dog. And it's like this purple to green multi-chrome. Very pretty. Congratulations, Miles. It's like not catching the light the way the other ones are because of just how it's sitting. It is also a little more demure than the sparkles in the other ones. I'm going to keep all of these, obviously. Well, not so obviously, but I want to. Circling back to this, I kept so many. I think I'm just going to pass this one along. I'm not going to be talking about any complexion products in this video, so I'm just going to keep those out of it. We're not going to get super swatchy with this stuff, I don't think. I'm going to do a lip swatch video to the new Bella Beauté Bar lip formula. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I also, in a future reckoning, I will do something more detailed. I want to do like swatch comparisons to some other shades, but just in case you were curious, I actually really like these Danessa Myricks eyeshadow sticks. I wouldn't package them like this. I think the magnet's stupid, but I have had great luck with them. I have good longevity with them. I like the finish of them. So I probably will be keeping all of these whenever it comes to the next reckoning. But because I'm like in a little bit of a hurry trying to just kind of move things along in this reckoning, I want to give these a little bit more. I care more about giving these a little more detailed, more thorough thought thing, because this is the kind of thing that I'm very interested in wearing in eyeshadow right now. So I just want to give it a little more of a time in the sun. I haven't used this yet. Danny also sent this to me. She sent it to me as to use as like an eyeshadow base. It's the deepest contour shade from Izumaya. I'm not going to use it. It's literally Magic Sticks from Dose of Colors. I'm just going to move them into my permanent collection. These are awesome. They were worth the hype. I'm glad I bought them because I was really trying to talk myself out. I was like, you don't need these. You don't need these. I love them. I love them. I particularly love Icy. I like Icy a lot more than I like Stardust. This is stuff that's right up my alley. I recently came across a video where I was wearing Icy in it and I was like, oh, she is that girl. Into the permanent collection. They get to jump the line. Are these lipsticks? I have 2 of the lip oils from the Lethal and Dexter collection. I actually really like these lip oils. They wear more like lip balms to me, and there is sparkle in them, but they barely have a tint. I think they're both gorgeous. I really like them. I don't know what's going on with Lethal, if they're just like an IP brand right now, but I hope to see more of their lip oils in future collections. And I also hope that if they do have like a permanent line moving forward, that they work these into the permanent line. I like these shades in particular. I've really done a number on them. Really nourishing, very thin on the lips. They actually feel like an oil, very thin. They have like okay longevity, but whenever I'm thinking of lip oil, I want something thin that melts into the lips pretty immediately. Like I'm looking for that. And I do think that they nourish my lips. So I really like them. Like, I mean, you can definitely tell I've like used these quite a bit. I'm gonna move them into my permanent collection, but I'm actually probably gonna just keep them by my computer upstairs, my work computer, because I love to throw those on. Just like they just are very nourishing. The Glamour lipstick from the Trixie and Britney collab. There's just like an assortment of things in this box. I try to keep my PR like organized, like the testing drawer. It's kind of fallen apart as my mental health has not been the greatest this year. I love this nude shade. I will watch this one. It's really pretty. Although I've heard, I didn't know the brand was describing it as a cool tone, but it's like neutral leaning warm, and like there's like a little bit of readiness to it. I'm gonna compare it to their other neutral shade I have that's a little bit lighter. That's Eden next to it, so this is a little bit darker than Eden. What is it focused on? That's Eden. And then I also have HR Honey, which is another dark brown. And that's it compared. So it's kind of like the in-between between HR Honey and Eden. I really do like Trixie's lipstick formula. I prefer the satin formula, but these ones are all the matte ones. I will also say if you get Eden, it is a softer formula. I think it's just because it's a lighter color. Something I've just kind of found as I've tried more bullet lipsticks over the years is that the lighter shades always tend to be the weakest structurally. I'm just gonna put it in my lipstick drawer. The lip stain from Lethal Cosmetics. There's another one of these floating around somewhere. I'm not a big fan of lip stains just in general, but I do. Of the lip stains I have tried, other than the markers from CoverGirl, which I do like, but they dried out really quickly, I did like this formula as like a paint on lip stain formula. I just am not using lip stains. I think theirs is good though. You also have to keep in mind that's coming from someone who doesn't typically love lip stains. So it's coming like from a person who usually views them just as a negative overall. I would pay for a lip stain. Keep that in mind. I have the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Highlighting Blush. This is like a nothing burger. It was like glowy and kind of highlightery, but it was also like kind of not even. I'm gonna pass on it. Sorry, Trixie. I'm just like never gonna use this. This is the Trixie Striking Highlighter. Kind of same with this Conjuring highlighter. It's a little bit of a warm, it's pretty, but it has like a bit of a warm flip, which I wasn't expecting. And if I'm wearing a warm highlighter, I'm just going to reach. Doll Dynasty is my warm highlighter. And that's the one I'm going to reach for if I'm doing a warm tone look. I don't need something like this. I would prefer this in something icier, but then also at that point, I would just get the Fenty Diamond Bomb so someone else can have that. You know, this has been in here forever. This is the eyeliner from Halsey. And I do love like a pop of neon in the inner corner, but I never reach for it. So I think I'm just going to pass it. Like I completely forgot. It's so small. I completely forgot I had it. Perhaps someone else would love it and use it a lot more than me. The Make Blush and Toasted Shock of the Century. I just tried this in a recent video and that I don't like that swatch. However, blended and actually wearing it on the skin like that, love. We're gonna keep that in the testing drawer for now. Really like that formula. I would love to try more from that formula. I kind of wish I got more colors from that. I don't know. Anyway, reach out. I know I've been kind of shit talking your brand, but reach out. And then this was something I bought and was in Tiff's collection. Tiff decluttered their makeup earlier in the year on camera with me. If that video exists, just look for it. It's like stealing my decluttering my roommate's makeup. I had initially had this at first. I've worn this a couple of times. I'm gonna keep it in my testing drawer. I'm not sure if I want to like invite it back into the family. But one day I do want to do like a Westman Atelier brand deep dive. It's like, well, I already have this, so should I get rid of it and then have to buy it again if I should do Westman Atelier brand deep dive? I do like it though. I have been enjoying having it around. Okay, there's another drawer. The Conjuring lipsticks from Lethal. I haven't put either one of these on my lips yet, so I'm gonna keep them. I do like a black lipstick. It is not as black as the other one I have, and that color is really pretty. Even though it's like not a color I'd wear, I would like to try it at least. So we'll keep those. The eyeliners from the Conjuring collection with Lethal. I'm not a liquid eyeliner person, and I already tried the brown one. So I'm gonna keep the brown one, and then I'm gonna let the other ones go unused. And then the brown one, I mean, I'll keep it in the testing drawer, but I just don't see myself, you know, reaching out. The Sigma mascara. I haven't tried this. The Sigma Lash Icon. I got this. This was like the launch that they did whenever we were in the Catskills. I haven't tried this yet. I'm still working on my KULFI one, which I'm completely happy with. I will open this whenever I feel like I am done with the KULFI one. So that's just kind of like waiting in the wings right now. These are from Gourmand Girls. They're like lip glosses that came out with the Trapped palette. I've only tried Sweet Bait and I really thought it was pretty. So I'm going to keep these because I haven't really tried them. The lip liners from Singe Beauty, they sent them to me. These have not been received super well as far as like color range. Here's what I will say. As someone who's like a cool toned, desaturated girly, like these really work for me. I have 3 of the shades, but I have found some formula inconsistencies. Some of them are really soft. Some of them are very firm. I'm going to keep these because I need to like figure out further thoughts on these. I wouldn't say that these are like a home run product. I think that they need to be elaborated on. The eyeshadow primer from Sigma. I haven't decided how I feel about this yet, so I'm going to keep it. Primer from the Conjuring collection can kiss my ass. I am gonna hold on to the gimmick thing. I do want to try this as a primer because I think I would like it better as a primer, but I still think it's a gimmick and it doesn't need to exist. The Dexter highlighter. Okay, so this is really pretty. I'm not gonna swatch it because I'm already got glitter everywhere. I don't want more glitter everywhere. This is really pretty and I do think I like it. And I'm not always in the mood for something like this, and I certainly didn't need a full ounce of this, but it's really pretty and I would like to keep playing with it. The Teletubbies blush, it's a really pretty red, and I know I said I was going to keep all of the Teletubbies collection, but I think I'm just going to keep the eyeshadow palette. I'm going to pass on that. And I have this blush butter from this brand, if any of you can identify it. I've had this for a while. I've never really used it. I'm going to keep it on. The blush in Sear from PHYTOSURGENCE. I don't think I've worn this on camera yet. Maybe I have. I don't remember. I'm going to keep that. Same, going to keep the evocative blush from Singe in Riveting Rhubarb because I have liked that shade in particular. Also, another banger product that I've been really enjoying is the highlighter from the Dark Dreamscape palette. This is much more interesting to me than the eyeshadow palette itself. The Prada eyeshadow quad that Sunshine sent me. I'm going to keep that in the testing drawer. I do want to do because I will move this into my permanent drawer. Let's not joke. I want to do a look with that green before I like move it in there and I like pay less attention to it on camera. Oh, the lip liner glamour. I do like the lip liners from Trixie, so I'll keep that and just move it into the regular drawer. I haven't tried this. This is the lip gloss from Undefined Beauty that has SPF in it. I haven't tried it yet, so we're going to push that along. This jelly gloss from the new Trixie collection, I really liked the way it looked, so I'm going to keep that for now. I did like the formula even better than the Tubby Custard formula. This is I think this is from Girl Cult as well. It's this lipstick balm. It's like, I'll never use that shade, so someone else can have that. And the lip stain from Trixie Cosmetics, I really didn't like those, so I'll see if someone else wants that from me. The Experiment lip balm, I'm like indifferent to this product, but I will use it, so I will put it back in the testing drawer. Sorry, I'm like really trying to hustle. I'm trying to go to Goodwill with it. So that's like really what I'm trying to do. This is from Rituel de Fille, a beauty store, an independent beauty store closed in Pittsburgh, and they carried Rituel de Fille. So this is in like old Rituel de Fille packaging. They still sell this shade though. It's Anima. Very soft eyeshadow. And I'm going to just put that in my keep drawer because I do like the Rituel de Fille eyeshadows and I love a single shadow, and that would be like a great base to put other topper stuff on and just to have it flash underneath there. I have a bunch of the Trixie blushes that they sent in PR. I have the shade Baby. It's already in my permanent collection and it will stay. We're just gonna go grab random ones. This is Puddin'. That's a shade that I think I want to try. It's like kind of like a terracotta. That's a shade Honey. Another shade that I think I want to play with more. That's the shade Sugar. I don't think I'll really use that shade, so we can find that a new home. This is the shade Dollface. I have worn this, I think, on camera. It's actually not too different from Baby. It's just like has a little more depth to it than Baby. Now that we're talking about Baby and now comparing things, that's Baby. Baby's a little more purple. I like pink blushes a little bit more, but I don't think I need Dollface to keep on to. Angel I have worn on camera. It's like a berry color. I'm not going to wear that a ton. And I don't wear a lot of colors that would go with that. So I'm going to just pass that one along. I also have Pumpkin. This is like actually one of my favorite shades of this, but it's also not a shade I would wear. It's like this yellow orange color. I think it's really cool. It reminds me a little bit of Wasp. It's just a little more orangey than Wasp from Rituel de Fille. And I think it's really pretty, but I want someone who would want that shade. And I think it's really pretty and very cool. And my favorite shade from it. Did I have two Sweeties? No, the other one was Sugar. This is Sweetie. I like that shade. I have been kind of enjoying stuff that's more coral, and I think I've worn this once. So I'm going to keep these ones in the testing drawer to make more decisions on it. I really want to see if either one of those shades is worthwhile. Baby is really like the one that is like a home run for me in my usage. It's that purple kind of grungy kind of purple thing that's going on with it. I really like it, and it goes with a lot of the looks that I wear because I wear just like a lot of cool tones. And I also wear a lot of stuff with like a lot of gray toned stuff. I have found some of the other shades I just like don't like the way that the formula lays as much with it, and I don't know if it's like a color thing or what. We have some more shades to keep playing with. And then I know I said this is the last thing. I know I said I wasn't going to say anything about complexion products. However, I have a bit of a conundrum with this one, and I'm gonna ask you to chime in. So this is a Giorgio Armani foundation. It's long since expired. It was passed on by a friend. There was SPF in it, and the SPF expired a while ago. However, it doesn't break me out when I wear this multiple days in a row. The thing is, I really like it, but I can't pass this on in good conscience to a friend. I just really can't because it's so old. The other thing is, I really love it. I love the way it looks on my skin. The color's not 100% right. I think this was something that was like a Korea or maybe like Asian exclusive formula from Armani because it was given to me by Danny. But it's like also, is it so good that I should keep it? Should I just throw it away? Like, I'm kind of confused because I do like wearing it, but it's not something that can go in that big complexion video I'm working on. And I just don't know. So what do you guys think? Should I keep it in my testing drawer or should I just let go of it? Because even if it is my most favorite foundation in the whole world, which I'm not even like claiming that it is, this is it. They don't make this formula anymore. Like I've looked, it's discontinued and people are selling it for like way too much on eBay and stuff. So let me know your thoughts. Okay. I know that was kind of like a crazy reckoning, but it was really to kind of like cut some of the stuff out that I knew I wasn't going to be interested in, stuff that I was like, knew I wasn't going to use a lot of, stuff that may have been featured even if slightly, that I could move along, even though I wouldn't consider anything I did with it a review. It's just kind of like vibe-wise, time-wise, what's worth my time, what's not worth my time. So I hope you enjoyed it, even though it was kind of chaotic and quick, and you kind of got some thoughts on things. Hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you're not already. I'm on Patreon and channel memberships. Check out the pinned comment to help people. That's it from me. I gotta go. Remember to follow your hope and you'll find me, and I'll see you in a video very soon. Go forth. Tits out.